Hey, Kevin.
Hello, Rebecca.
Here we are in the Readathon.
Another Readathon.
So, Kevin, where is Sutton, Massachusetts?
It's in central Massachusetts.
So it's what, a little west of Canton, you'd say, or around Canton?
It's out by Worcester.
Oh, okay. So it's closer to western Massachusetts, like west.
Central Massachusetts.
All right. So Sutton Police Department is, I want to say, seems like a decent place to work compared to the Canton Police Department.
Well, I mean, you can tell that more than just the true crime fans of the world have been following the case and know all the important plot points.
That's right.
People in law enforcement also have, and there are many people in law enforcement who, whether or not however they feel about Karen Read personally, that they've taken note of the behavior of fellow law enforcement officers.
Right.
And not everybody is rushing to defend them.
Right. But the Sutton Police Department, I would say, on their social media have gone a step further.
Well, it looks like in the last 24 hours, the Sutton Police Department posted on Facebook a typical posting saying that their chief is retiring, and so that now they are looking for a patrolman.
Right.
So they can have a job opening. I guess some officer is going to move up, and down the it's going to create a thing. So pretty standard stuff.
And then what happened?
Well, some people started, being cheeky, and instead of shutting them down, the Sutton Police Department played right along.
That's right. So one question was somebody asked, so what, if anything, are your thoughts on butt dials on the job? And the response to that question from the Sutton Police Department was, well, they're frowned upon. One may have been an accident and understood, but more than one, get your phone someplace that your bum won't interfere with it.
Yeah. I've got one that says, how long is training program? And Sutton Police Department responds, ironic, you posted this at 2:27.
I know.
And the response, dead. Someone says, dead.
Yes. Somebody else posted, what, if anything, do your detectives look for in suspects' phones? Sutton Police Department. We can tell you what they don't look for.
Nudes.
Yeah.
Do you have real evidence bags, or should I pick up some Stop and Shop grocery bags and red Solo cups?
Oh, what do they say?
Sutton Police Department says, not trying to show off, but we have both plastic and paper evidence bags.
Oh.
And then, but have you ever used that evidence tape, or does that just happen? And then the response, we don't want to humiliate any other law enforcement agencies by our above-board practices of evidence collection and preservation, so we'll just stay quiet.
Oh, my gosh.
Now, here's a good one. Can we drunk then joyride in our cruiser or misplace our badge and service weapon? Or is that even too much for the Sutton Police Department? Sutton Police Department says, call us sticklers, but that is not permitted. Ever. Someone says, previous leaf blower experience necessary? Sutton Police says, may come in handy.
Oh, goodness.
And one of my favorite ones, can I destroy my phone after applying for position? Sutton Police says, were you advised that you needed to preserve it before you destroyed it?
Oh, somebody said too, will there be wintertime training, processing crime scenes with leaf blowers? And Sutton Police Department says, only if there's an accumulation of snow this winter. And then they wanted to say, lucky was the gem of all witnesses. I will say one other thing I want to say about the Sutton Police Department Facebook page. There's a separate post, nothing to do with this, where they apologized for a mistake that they made. Mm-hmm. They said that they had taken down a previous post where they had put up some dash cam footage of a driver who had an accident or a drunken driving thing, and they had taken it down because their dash cam footage inadvertently linked to that citizen's private Google Photos account. And they know that already posting private footage is dicey line, but they also felt really bad that they had accidentally violated the citizen's privacy in that way, and they wanted to apologize. Imagine that. Yeah.
Can I give my last favorite one?
Absolutely.
From the Sutton Police? Because this is sort of a if you know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Sutton Police, I'm going to need to see you at Sidebar. And Sidebar is BAH.
Yeah.
Sidebar. If Michael Proctor replies, there will be an objection, but I'm going to allow it. However, if there is no objection, I'm going to sigh heavily and suggest it.
Oh.
And Sutton Police says, we're going to take our morning break now so we can work through some issues without wasting your time.
Oh, if you know, you know.
If you know, you know. They follow the trial pretty closely.
Judge Beverly Cannoni. Judge Beverly Cannoni.
And I'll just say, in some of the other comments, they're just trying to put out there that there are a lot of people in law enforcement that when they get discouraged when they see poor law enforcement behavior. They're trying to like drum up. They think they've got it's a small town. They think they've got a good police force. They want people who are positive, who will come along and have a sense of community and do that. And so, hopefully the town of Sutton, that they're proud of their law enforcement officers, and hopefully that those good vibes could be spread elsewhere, and maybe some nice systemic change, but also kind of a thumb in their nose at the Mass Police and the Canton Police there.
By the way, the city of Portland, Maine also has an awesome social media manager, really awesome social media manager. I don't know what the cops there are like, but the social media manager rocks. And I would say that my suggestion for the Sutton Police Department is next time someone asks a question on their Facebook page, you know what I would say?
What?
Ask it differently.
There was a couple Ask It Differently in there, absolutely. And a gif of the fan.
Oh,
the
yes.
spinny fan. But that isn't the most interesting thing that has happened in the Karen Read universe, has it?
Of course, because something happens now every day. So one thing I just want to say is that, Kevin, you and I have plans this weekend.
Yes.
So we may or may not be able to put out an episode if there are big developments, but if there are huge developments...
Can we just not have big developments again? But okay.
We'll try if there are big developments, but maybe it would be nice if we could have just one day.
I'm sure. Can we just assume that another 2 or 3 or 4 jurors will come forward and say that? So just, fill in the blanks.
Because you're going to be
Can we just assume that juror E, F, and G are out there now, and we're all surprised or we're not surprised? Okay, so moving on.
Worst case scenario, I'll have to come down here by myself and talk alone or reach out to another listener. Anyway, so let me tell you what happened yesterday. I spent some time digging into one of the things. The other one, I'm just going to be really honest, I don't know enough about to speak to too intelligently. I can just give you my gut feelings and just leave it there. Aiden Kearney, Turtleboy, was in court twice yesterday. So he had 2 hearings yesterday. He had like a pre-hearing on one legal matter, which is a restraining order matter by a woman who claims to be his ex-girlfriend, who says that he assaulted her. It has to do with an issue around information, and it turned into something else. And I'm just going to say this. I don't think it's what it looks like on its face. I just don't, given what I have learned about it so far. But I also don't know enough about it to speak about it intelligently. But of course, Kevin, as you know, generally speaking, I believe women in all of these cases. That being said, with Aiden Kearney's cases in particular, they always have more to them than they appear to be on their faces. So I'm just going to put a pin in this one now, and I will do more research and come back to it. Okay?
Okay.
There were some protesters outside the courthouse today supporting Aiden Kearney, and they were out there, they were talking to reporters, and, you just kind of get a sense that people are really on his side for the attention that he brought to the Karen Read case, the fact that they know about him because of her, and that they believe him. They just sort of inherently believe him. And then someone showed up who was clearly a counter-protester, an anti-Karen Read person, and I just kind of want you to hear how he decided to interact with this reporter, this member of the media who had a camera crew with her.
We're here for you, Turtleboy. Kearney's slew of supporters showed up with signs and cheered the blogger on as he left the courthouse. I dedicated myself to come for the Karen Read trial, and I think that Aiden needs all the support he can get, so that's why we're all out here. And at one point, someone showed up from the other side, but wouldn't share their thoughts with us. Is there anything you would like to say about why you came out here?
No, the news
Do you want to spread your message?
The news, them.
Okay.
You.
And Kearney will be back in district court for these.
What do you think about that?
Well, okay. As someone who has been a broadcast reporter and people, when you're live, people walking by, that has happened. It just seems like kind of par for the course for the kind of people who have been on the McCabe side, McAlbert side, I should say. They're very frustrated. I hate saying like they're low class because that just seems so kind of...
It seems snotty, but in this case, I don't think it's... The behavior is low class. How about that?
Yeah.
So the Norfolk County District Attorney is Michael Morrissey. All right.
Yep.
He is the guy who's in charge of the Karen Read case. Okay. He is Lolly's boss. And he's also the boss of this guy named Mello, who has been the prosecutor in charge thus far of the Aiden Kearney witness intimidation case. But apparently he's ill. So now there's a new guy, Cosgrove, who showed up at the hearing today.
Okay.
So do you know what this so-called witness intimidation case is based on?
Just a little bit here. I mean, I think that Turtleboy has been doing news gathering.
Yep.
Which does include approaching people from the McCabe's and the Alberts.
Yes.
And trying to get them on the record or ask them questions.
Right.
And because he doesn't have a microphone and he is also very openly an advocate for Karen Read, it comes off differently about, like, is he acting as a journalist? Is he acting as a private citizen? Is he acting as, somebody on behalf of the defense? So there are questions about when he approaches somebody, what hat is he wearing?
By the way, he's a credentialed journalist.
He is a credentialed journalist?
He got a court credential. He is a credentialed journalist.
Okay.
Something for you to know.
Yes.
All right.
I don't like getting into who is a journalist and who isn't.
Correct.
Or,
But he's won awards and he is a credentialed journalist.
Yeah.
So just FYI.
Yeah,
That's a thing to know.
Okay. But there's some allegation that he crossed the line
and that people are
with
afraid
someone.
of him. Yes.
And that people are afraid of him.
There, yes.
Okay.
All right. So what happened was, and this is just some of the details, but these are important. There was a case put together based on a combination of things that happened. And one of the things that happened was that Jen McCabe tried to obtain a restraining order against him because he kept approaching her to try to ask her questions. And now keep in mind, he carries a microphone and a camera, and he kept trying to approach her and asking her questions like, what happened that night? Do you think that you're going to be outsmarted by Karen Read? Like, are your kids going to be upset when you go to prison someday? Like stuff like that, the kind of turtle boyish questions. So she tried to get a restraining order against him. She went to court. She failed. The judge literally said, he has a First Amendment right to ask you questions, and you have not demonstrated in any way that he's trying to cause you harm, which is the bar for a restraining order.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
you have a constitutional right to be annoying.
And
you just can't threaten somebody, and there doesn't seem to be
and I will say,
legally a threat here.
I have seen the videos. He stays 4 feet away. He keeps a respectful distance. There's a video, and this is the video that I guess spurred them to claim they were afraid. He goes to a lacrosse game. By the way, Turtleboy knows that's something I've learned about him with my research. He understands the rules about public spaces. He's like one of these people. He knows libel law. He knows public space stuff. He approaches them at a lacrosse game. Of course, it's lacrosse, right? Approaches them at a lacrosse game. They're in the stands. And he goes up to them. Hey, Jen. Hey, Matt.
No, I'm at a public event, so I can do whatever I want. So anyway, Jen, I have a question. Did you think that you could outsmart Karen Read? Did you? Do you think that's funny? How long to die in cold? What is this gentleman doing? Look at that deranged face. Hey, Jen, are you worried about what's going to happen to your family when you go to jail?
Don't touch me.
Why are you shaking, dude?
Touch me again.
Why are you shaking?
Touch me again.
So, Jen, are you worried about what's going to happen when your kids go to jail?
Touch me again.
When you go to jail, I apologize. To your children. Are you worried at all about that? Huh?
Touch me.
What's going on here?
Oh, you're so fast.
Oh, what are you doing here?
I'm sure you were.
Jen, did you think that you could outsmart Karen Read, yes or no? Did you? Why did you Google how long to die in cold, Jen? Why did you Google how long to die in cold, Jen? Why did you Google how long to die in cold, Jen?
Here we go, Green.
Do you have any answer for that?
Is that the perfect that was just...
Do you have any answer for that?
Come on,
Miss
buddy.
McCabe, do you have any answer for that?
His demeanor in every single video is like this. Hey, so you think you're going to be outsmarted by Karen Read? Hey, Jen. How you doing, Jen? It's always that.
Yeah.
It's always that.
It's not menacing.
It is not fucking menacing. He's like 5'6". He's a tiny guy. He is not menacing. He's smarmy. He's shit stirrery. He is not menacing. He is not forward on his heels. When they ask him to go, he's like, all right, bye.
Listen.
Yeah.
It sounds like an interview, not a filming. So why don't you? So you're not here.
An
to
interview,
watch
not a film.
You're not here to
Well, I'd like to watch the game, but it's kind of a blowout, though.
You're not
No,
watching
I mean
the game.
it's no offense. It's just not that close. But okay, we'll give it a wrap. But I just thought I'd stop by, and have a great night. We'll see you soon, Jen. How long to die in cold? Maybe you can answer that question for me. We'll find out later. Bye.
Every single fucking time. Okay.
Okay.
So there's that. And by the way, there's a Microdots video that breaks all this down that, again, is very full of music and drama, but it does break down what constitutes witness intimidation in the state of Massachusetts, which is useful. And what constitutes witness intimidation, not just in Massachusetts, but everywhere, is a person has to be a witness in a case, and that does apply. But also, you have to, with intent to intimidate, intend to either cause physical or emotional harm, and intend to impede their ability to perform their duty as a witness in the interests of justice in a criminal case. So what you're trying to do is keep them from doing the thing in the advancement of justice. So an example would be
either to prevent them from testifying, or
trying to convince them to say
alter their
else.
testimony.
Right.
Yeah.
So you rob a liquor store, right? And your brother is going to testify and say you did it, and I go break your brother's leg. Or I go say to your brother, you better not say that Kevin robbed the liquor store, or I'm going to break your leg. That's witness intimidation.
Yeah.
Okay?
But again, to say, that video, was that played in court? Is this how you've seen it?
It's on his
YouTube?
blog.
It's on his blog.
It's on the Microdot story, which I will post in this website.
And this particular incident is what the government is pointing
Michael Morrissey talked about this incident in his press conference when he announced these charges. He said, Turtleboy has gone to sports games. No, he went to one game, and this was the one game.
Right. Okay.
He exaggerated everything. He's going to go to sports games. He's been going to, no, he went to one. It's very, very typical.
Okay.
So then he held this thing called a rolling rally, where the idea was to get a peaceful protest. They were going to drive around, walk around, and they're going to go past the houses. They're going to go past the 34 Fairview. They're going to go past the sites. They're going to go past the police station, holding signs and being peaceful, just letting people know that like there was something wrong in the town. He says in the video organizing the rolling rally, no assholes, no violence, don't be loud, don't be rude. They want us to appear unhinged, and we are not them. If you're going to be loud, if you're going to be violent, if you're going to be rude, do not come. This is a peaceful protest.
Okay.
Very fucking clear. There was no police presence at this rolling rally, and like there were hundreds of people there, or more than 100 people there.
So we are here. Everyone's coming in. Look at all these people. Look at all these people. Look at all the cars. This is the most traffic this road has ever gotten. Man, the neighbors need to do something about their lawn. Holy cow. Holy cow. Okay. We got, if you're over here, please hit up the lemonade stand. There's some nice children over there selling lemonade. It looks delicious. Turtle Riders are helping them out. First of all, I don't know if those kids did this on purpose, but if they did, well done, kids. That is entrepreneurial right there. Like, I am going to set up a lemonade stand on the day of the Turtleboy rolling rally. That is ingenious. God bless those children. Feel free to support them. Hello, what's happening? There we go. All right. So, all right, welcome everybody. We'll let people rolling in here. Like I said, it's going to be difficult because we're in residential areas, but this is the home of conflicted state trooper Michael Proctor. It appears as if does he still? Oh, you notice he's got a turtle crossing thing there. I keep put that up. Some people thought that a turtle rider put that up, and we're now told that he put that up, and that's kind of speaks to how arrogant he is. That he's almost like mocking us. They do have a private property sign now, which is smart because I've knocked on his door a couple weeks ago, and he's a state trooper, so he knows that if he puts that up, then we cannot step on his property, which is fine. It also appears as if they've taken down the thin blue line flag, which is good because Michael Proctor doesn't care about murdered police officers who sacrificed their lives, and because he covered one up. Now he pretends to, because he arrested and charged a woman.
The cops set up hidden cameras for this rally to get video of only him to use in the case against him. Okay? So that's another piece of evidence in the case against him.
Okay.
Third thing is they are saying that his blog itself is a call for readers to harass witnesses in the case. That he is telling people to knock on the doors of witnesses in the case, ask them questions, harass them, intimidate them, yell at them, threaten them with violence. There is not a single instance in any of his writings where he tells anybody to do that. And by the way, somebody knocking on someone's door is not illegal in the state of Massachusetts. There's no, and if they did, like every Girl Scout would be arrested. But that's what they say on the microdots thing. But he never, ever, ever does that. And it's like, it's sort of like the Howard Stern thing, like in that episode we just did on These Are Their Stories, I never said whatever. But it goes beyond that because he actually doesn't do that. And he actually, in the microdots videos, it says, don't try to contact anybody in this. And he actually says in his things, like, this is peaceful, this is whatever. His whole thing is just be there, be peaceful. But he actually never, ever, ever says, knock on doors, bother these people. His whole thing is just like, ask questions, show up, stand strong, stand with Karen Read. He never says, go fucking knock on like Brian Higgins' door, go knock. He never, ever, 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 ever says that. And the state says that he does. So their charges are, he's inciting his readers to commit violence and harassment. He's going to like sports games and events and making these people afraid for their safety. And he had this rolling rally at which he was harassing and inciting stuff. They went to his house. They confiscated all of his electronic devices, his computers, like 3 of his phones. They still have them. They've scraped them of all their data. They have not turned over that discovery. Even today, they still have not turned over all that discovery. It includes correspondence between him and Karen Read, correspondence between him and his lawyer, correspondence between him and other sources, other journalism sources. And they have not turned over the raw data. They've only turned over screenshots of what they intend to present in court, and not all of it by far.
You think they're looking for nudes?
I think they are, looking for shit they can use in the Karen Read prosecution. I think they're looking for shit they can use against him in the case and not disclosing it. And I think the fact that this case exists is completely unconstitutional and wild. That is my opinion.
Seems like the government's the one doing the intimidation.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, they really want to get even with Turtleboy. So.
It's really what it seems like. And keep in mind, I was going into this with an open mind because, I've seen the C.F. McCarthy video. I have mixed feelings about Turtleboy. I've read some of his old blogs. I don't like what they say, but I do appreciate and admire his role in this case so much. And I do think he's a journalist. I really, really do. But I see, he's a shit stirrer. He is. Yeah. But he is, by the way, in this instance, in every instance I can find, a peaceful shit stirrer.
Yeah.
He does not throw punches. He does not fucking throw punches.
It's very unsettling when prosecutors go after journalists for doing their job. And it's hard to say like where one draws the line as far as breaking an ethical code of conduct or, what goes beyond journalistic standards. But that's not for the government to decide. And unless, there's actually some crime committed as far as harassment, criminal level harassment, or or threats of violence, just because you feel unsafe because you're being questioned by a journalist. I mean, the first judge was correct. Like, there's no case here.
Can I just?
And I hope that this all gets thrown out with prejudice.
Can I just say something? Mm-hmm. I think approaching a subject of a story, a major story, in a public venue like a lacrosse field is completely fair game. I absolutely do. I think if a television reporter had done it, nobody would be questioning whether or not it was fair game.
Yeah.
I think if a reporter from WBZ or WBUR or the Boston Globe had approached them at that game and gotten an interview or tried to get an interview and they were rude to them, the headline would be, Matt McCabe shoves reporter at game.
Yeah.
The headline would not be, WBEZ reporter crosses line by approaching reporter at game. It's a public space. Yeah. They knew they were going to be there. We see it all the time. We see people who are centers of the stories being approached at the grocery store. We see them being approached on their way out of church. You know where somebody is going to be. They're an important figure in a story it's fair game to approach them when they have become like a central figure in a developing story.
Yeah, interesting.
Anyway, so that's my opinion about this. I don't, like I said, I don't have enough information about the one case, but as far as the second one goes, I think it is wild that here we are 9 months later. And I think the reason why the charges haven't been dismissed or whatever is because the discovery just still hasn't happened. I can't imagine a judge would see this stuff. And I mean, the judge in the restraining order case was like, no. And that was the right call. The answer is no. You cannot have a restraining order against somebody who is asking you questions and not threatening you. You just can't. It might be annoying, but it's not dangerous. Anyway, there we are. That's today's readathon. And Kevin.
Rebecca.
I hope you have fun with your plans this weekend. And if news breaks, I'm just going to have to do it without you.
There are plenty of people who want to talk to you about this.
That's true. If you would like to participate if breaking news breaks, just send me an email at crimewriterson@gmail.com or leave a comment on the Readathon. And if there's breaking news, it's nice to know we got backups. Kevin, thanks for joining me on this edition of the Readathon.
Email us a voice memo.
Yeah, voice memos. crimewriterson@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you.
Partners in Crime Media.